Hello everybody, my name is Cody Gray, bringing us yet another video, and in today's video, we're going to be starting this week's little, character concept off with Tien Shinhan. Now, as you can see by his leader skill, that is indeed what this week is going to be. I'm going to be trying to make some new and interesting Earthlings. Maybe it'll actually kind of be a help to the planet, the Saiyan Saga a bit too. It all depends on, who I feel like making and where in the timeline I feel like making them in. But for now, we're going to start off with, honestly, one of my favorite characters in one of my favorite moments. We're going to start off with Tien Shinhan, Last Ditch for Vengeance Tien. So this right here, if you guys don't know, maybe you don't know the whole history of Dragon Ball, or maybe you've forgotten some stuff, but this is Tien. I mean, this picture is before he got his hand cut off by Nappa, but in all honesty, this would probably be after he got his hand chopped off by Nappa, after, all that stuff. So this would be when he's actually killing himself with his Kikoho. But for now, we're just going to be looking at this picture as if he has both hands. But I'm also thinking maybe I could have given him an active skill to where he is actually Chiaotzu going and blowing himself up on the enemy. It was just going to be like a little comedic thing, kind of similar to the Fighters, how one of his level 3s is literally just Chiaotzu appearing out of nowhere and blowing up the opponent. So I thought maybe I could make it to where this Tien would have an active skill, but then I thought, how practical would it be? Would they just have him, would they just be like, oh yeah, sure, he can have an active skill for that? Or would it be like, let's be a little bit more conservative with it, let's try not to have, constant pushing for things. Perhaps it could be a weird exchange unit to where it's Tien / Chiaotzu that will exchange, quote unquote, into just Tien. That could also be a card, who knows. But for now, we're going to stick with this. It's going to be hopefully pretty good. So, starting off, why did I choose Strength? Earthlings need just more units overall. Strength is one of them that could use a bit more, I thought. So I was like, yeah, let's go with Strength. That's the reason. Nothing else. His stats, very attack heavy, as you can tell. Nearly 16,000 attack. But not exactly the most defensive unit, and that's kind of the whole scheme of him in this moment when he's just trying to avenge his friend of Chiaotzu after Chiaotzu kills himself. So it's kind of like, he's full attack, doesn't really care about, his body anymore. He just wants to try to kill Nappa. So you'll be able to tell a lot of that in the basis with his passive too. Definitely not like a lot of the passives I've been making, to where it's like, 7, it's like a full paragraph, 7 different, things to be looking out for. No, this one is just like pretty simple. This unit hit hard, this unit get hit hard. That is this unit in a nutshell. We'll start off with the super attack. It is the Tri-Beam, Kikoho. Nothing too fancy. I'm sure the animation would look real clean, though, with him actually kind of standing and then getting his whole, maybe the whole anger thing, and then putting the hand up and, finding who he wants to hit, and then boom, Kikoho. It would be a pretty cool looking thing. Definitely a high-def, very clean animation version of it would be amazing to see. And then what the Tri-Beam will do is it'll cause immense damage to enemy. It'll raise his attack for 3 turns and then sacrifice 7% HP. So obviously, Kikoho is it drains the user's life force when he uses it, and it kills him in this case. So obviously, I would have it being a sacrifice HP style of attack, and then I was just like, yeah, let's have it raise attack because hit hard, just more of that type of thing. His passive skill is that he'll get Ki key plus 3, defense plus 70% at start of turn, and that is the key plus 3 will also be at start of turn. So if you're at 9 key and it comes to his turn, he'll get an additional 3 key. So all you have to do is get him to 9 key and he'll super attack, and then defense plus 70% at start of turn. Thought it was an alright thing. And then attack plus 150% when performing a super attack. So he really only hits hard when he is super attacking. So if you can manage to not get him, 3 key pretty much, to where he doesn't get his 9 key, like you literally only need 3 key. And honestly, you probably don't even need that, because let me look at links. Me trying to remember what every link in the game does. If you can get him, I believe Crane School is a 1 key. If you can find him somebody who has Over in a Flash, then he automatically supers, because that's 3 key right there. So as long as you're on a 6 key team, that is, of course. If you're, for whatever reason or not, maybe you're trying to have him as a nuke, you can do that. And then he'll also get an additional attack up to 150%. The less HP remaining, the greater the boost. Is kind of the whole, because he was he was dying. That's his whole reason. It's like, oh, he was dying, very low on health. That's his last ditch effort, so he put all of his strength into it. So make it to where, the closer you are to death, the more damage this guy will do. And then defense minus 30%, attack plus 200%, and key plus 3, which means that he'll automatically be supering at this point if you somehow can't get him key, or if you're getting him without key somehow from leader skills. It is 200%, and it's key plus 3 when HP is below 20%. So you get him, to 20%, and he's getting 150% when performing a super attack. Roughly like 150% or so, like 130 or something like that. I don't know the exact calculations, but from being that low on HP from that part of his passive, and then an additional 200% attack, so he's going to be hitting insanely hard. But then of course he also will be losing out on defense, which means that if he gets hit, you are going to die pretty much. And then it's also like, oh cool, I'm at 10% HP. You better hope that you don't double, this is a character that you do not give, any additional to. You fully max out crit for him, because if you get below that 20% threshold and you accidentally get a double super attack, yeah, cool, you're hitting really hard. Well, if you don't kill the opponent, you're going to die. Whether it's the fact that, his defense is now super low if he gets hit, or the fact that he just took 14% off of your HP. He might have just killed you by super attacking. So, a very risky character as to whether or not, he'll, you want him to be below so that he can hit and basically one-shot everything, especially with a crit. But of course, you cannot let him get hit, because, he's 8,500 defense and 70% at start of turn, and then you might lose an additional 30% of that defense when you're at low health. Not a favorable unit. Obviously for Earthlings and the Saiyan Saga, he'll be pretty fun to use in all honesty. And then because he is on, let me just get to the next part and then explain some more. His links, His links are Z Fighters, Crane School, Cold Judgment, Rival Duo, Experienced Fighter, Over in a Flash, and Fierce Battle. These are the exact same links, other than he has Fierce Battle rather than Shattering the Limit, as the tech support Tien. I just thought, Tien isn't exactly an overly complicated character. It's not like, oh, at this point does he have this? At this point does he have this? Would it make more sense for him to have this? No, I was just like, yeah, it's Tien. He's, everything is going to be pretty much the same at this point. And then his categories are Worthy Rivals, Last Resort, Earthlings, and Saiyan Saga. Fairly normal stuff. He'd actually be really good on Last Resort, because a lot of those units that you can run on that team are Over in a Flash units. So you can actually just easily get his 3 key. It'd be 6 key to start, and then 3 key if you can link him up with over in a flash, so he automatically will super. So I would say overall would be pretty nice for Last Resort. Don't know how good the key links would be, or his links would be. I don't know how many Z fighters in Crane School, Cold Judgment. Rival Duo would be good, Experienced Fighters good, Over in a Flash good, Fuse Battle good. So overall, he would actually be pretty good. It's just that his, top 3 links are, like, iffy. Worthy Rivals, he'd be alright. Earthlings, yeah, you could easily run him, and if you have him as a lead, and you want to choose a different Krillin to bring, rather than the actual Prime Battle lead, because maybe you're like, man, I want to bring, maybe the Representative Universe 7 one that I created, just because I think he's actually a pretty good unit I made. And so it's like, yeah, maybe if you find a different Krillin, you want to run somebody else, or if you don't want to do the grind and the slog to try and actually get all the medals for the Prime Battle, because I can tell you one thing, I have no Prime Battle LRs, and I probably won't for quite some time, because as much as I like to play this game, and as much as I don't mind grinding for stuff, that is on a whole nother level. So I don't know if I'll be getting any Prime Battle units anytime soon. So if you're like me and you are not in the mood to grind for that Krillin, he's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but like, if you want to just go for this Tien, or if you ever get a Dokkan Fest, maybe Master Roshi, I would say that if it's not like a Tien, then it would have to be Master Roshi at that point. Maybe a buff Master Roshi, or a normal, normal Master Roshi that buffs up as like a transformation or something. So, but yeah, that does it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, then consider hitting that like button and tell me down below what you guys liked about the video, so I can keep doing it and keep having you guys be happy. And also, if you didn't like the video, then go ahead and dislike the video and tell me what you guys didn't like, so I can change it so that you guys can like it a bit more. But if you guys want to know when the next video is, the best way to know is by subscribing. That does it for this video. Bye, guys.